Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Romy's Rants, where this is going to be like part two of drivers. We're going to continue on with the drivers rant. Anyways, so I found something on the side of the road, and it's just like it's like so cool, and he's returned. Look who it is. It's Pokeroo.
And I'm gonna say right now that being found on the side of the road wasn't the best intro, but that's okay.
It's Pokeroo. Where have you been, Pokeroo?
And you missed him again.
What's your name? Pokeroo.
I don't.
Pokeroo. I don't know the whole song. But anyways, okay. So my partner in crime is back after a 2-year hiatus. Hiatus. It just sounds weird. Hiatus.
Yeah, I never use it.
Yeah. So after 2 years, what have you been doing?
Waiting to go on the show, like for 2 years, just waiting. You used to sit by the phone because you didn't want to miss it ring, like back in the day, and that doesn't matter anymore. But that was like me, just like waiting. What? I'm on, really? And then I'm back. I'm here.
Yeah, COVID. Great. So
long gone in the past.
Right. Okay.
For now.
So a couple of weeks ago, I posted a video showing drivers because we had a little power outage here, and I did a video of drivers not properly stopping at the intersection where they're supposed to treat it as a 4-way or 3-way stop, and nobody was really doing that. So that was part one. Now we are going to continue on with the rant of drivers. Now I have a question.
For me?
No, for my Kevin Owens doll. That's right there.
Okay.
Kevin Owens.
Well, maybe you're asking the audience. I don't know. Okay.
Kind of looking over here.
What's the question?
Okay, so why is it that everyone in the whole entire world, including me, but I know that I am, so why does everybody in the whole entire world think they are the best driver ever?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Everybody, every single person that drives thinks they are the best driver ever.
And don't they also think that they're the most important driver because they're, cutting people off and trying to get in front of everyone? And I mean, not everyone does that, but a lot of people do that.
Yeah, and they just yell at people that, don't know signal and stuff, and they're just yelling at them and get off the road kind of thing. But nobody's a perfect driver, not even driving instructors. But
not even me.
I'm pretty good. I do say that I've calmed down a lot. Well, I don't drive. I do drive. I don't have a car, but when I do have a car, I think of my young drivers' steps because I took Young Drivers of Canada.
I took Howard School at Safe Driving. Mine was half the price and it was above a store.
Oh, great.
Hey, I still learned the same rules.
Right?
Yep.
And didn't you tell me about a story where kids were throwing stuff at your car?
I went for one of my driving lessons and we drove by the high school and then the kids started throwing fruit at the car. Yeah, it was great. I was so embarrassed. It wasn't my high school, so no one knew who I was. They just saw, student driver, and they just started throwing stuff. Yeah.
Did your instructor say anything?
I don't remember.
Because I would have been like, excuse me, I parked the car and be like, out of the car, just trying to find those people throwing the fruit.
Yes, you're going to stand outside of your car with your teacher, where they can throw more things at you and make you more of a spectacle. I got that.
I would have my baseball bat with me,
and I would not. Or maybe your instructor would.
Yeah, well.
I think I got the F out of there real fast.
Well, you still took a driving school, and jinx to those kids who threw fruit at the car. Like, what a great way to, not waste any food.
I bet they're all amazing drivers, all of them.
Nobody's an amazing driver, but what pisses you off most about people driving?
I think people not paying attention.
That's a big
like
one.
When you're going through an intersection and someone's making the right in front of you and they just go right in front of you and then slam the brakes on. Then you have to slam your brakes on. Or you notice them just drifting into your lane or something like I don't know. It's just people not paying attention. And I know the phone's a part of it. It's not all of it, but it's part.
I have a lot of pet peeves about people driving. And
so what do you like the least, or what bothers you the most?
what bothers me the most is that people are always in a rush. Like, you're supposed to give yourself time, plan your route. That's what I learned. And you're supposed to actually go around your car every time you get in it.
I'm sure almost no one does that.
I do, and I bang on the hood so no animals, are in there, like especially wintertime if they're like hiding just to try to keep warm. You're supposed to pound the hood of the car, check the exhaust, because they always, like to hide in there and keep warm, and you're supposed to check your tires. That sort of thing. And
so you walk out to go at 9, and then you do your checks and you leave at 10.
It doesn't take that long to check.
I know, it takes 30
and
seconds.
Plus, since I work at Service Ontario, like, you have to make sure your plates are your plates, because people can take your plates or put different ones on and steal your plates and go rob a bank, or take the 407, or there could be one plate that's yours and the back plate is not yours. So you always have to make sure your plates are your plates. But
and then if they're missing, then you take someone else's plates until you can get your own back. I've got such good ideas. They're just all illegal.
Well,
but I agree.
Most people don't check these things, and then when they get the 407 bill and they're like, "Wait, I wasn't on the 407." Well, somebody stole your plates, and you were. So now you are responsible for paying that bill.
That would really suck,
right? So people do all sorts of things, and there's all these people stealing cars and shit. Like, go out and get a real job. But anyways, what bothers me the most is that people they're always in a rush. And they just become like very aggressive when they're driving. They're speeding and going through red lights and not paying attention and cutting people off. Like, are you really going to risk your life just to run a red light? First of all, it's like a 300 and something.
Is it how much it costs now if you're
It's over $300 if you are caught going through a red light.
I think it should be more than that almost.
So not all the intersections have cameras, but are you really willing to risk your life to go through that red light? What if your kids are in the car and you run a red light? And then,
or risk someone else's life. You might hit some other car.
Right, because you're such in a rush that, you just have to make it through the yellow light, or, when they see the light turning yellow and then they speed up. Like,
that's one thing, yeah.
Why can't you stop? Like, why that 1 minute that you're at the intersection could like save your life, and why are you such in a rush? Do you have to go home and use the bathroom, or like what is it?
That's almost a good excuse. I mean, you still gotta suck it up, but I mean, bathroom is like up there.
But people just drive so crazy, and all I see is people running red lights. I just saw it the other day. This guy on a motorcycle just right through the red light. Like, wow.
And I bet some people are running them because they're looking at their phones. Like, when it's already red and someone just like, I don't see that often, but they just go through it. Like, it's like they thought it was green or something.
They're not paying attention, and they're just so rushy. Like, just, wait that extra minute, wait at the lights. It's no big deal. Like, it's not worth risking your life for that.
No.
So I see a lot of that going on. And what also bothers me is that people, when they have the advanced green, and as soon as it turns green, somebody's honking. Like, right away. Like, can you give me time to put my foot on the gas? Like,
I know.
What's the rush? I'm always paying attention. Like, I'm always looking at the lights, and when they change, I'm ready to go, right? Like, I'm ready.
And when it first turns green, you want to make sure quickly that the other traffic is like stopped. Like you have to check. It takes like a second or two, but
Right? Because somebody could run a red light because
Yep.
they're not paying attention. But I hate when somebody honks as soon as the light turns green. Like, it just turned green. Like,
I know.
what is your problem? Give me a second to put my foot on the gas and go. Like,
I think if someone does that, then you should purposely just wait an extra few seconds just to piss them off.
yes, and then they like come beside you, and then they start swearing, and
then it's a whole turns into a whole thing.
yeah,
You know what else I hate?
What?
Is people that are like super overly cautious or really slow, like on the highways and stuff.
Those people are probably afraid to drive,
So
and they shouldn't be driving.
Or not driving on the highway and then take the streets. If you're going to go on the ramp and you're going to be sticking at 50 and you're like, it's already ending, and then you're going to try to like somehow speed up later, like it's too slow. You cut people off on the highway going slow.
Well, I was taught with young drivers, just saying, that when you go on the highway and you're like getting on the highway and you're like on the ramp and you're supposed to put your foot on the gas and go.
Amen, girl.
You know, you're supposed to go. That's when you speed up and go. And
that's the only time you can speed and not get pulled over. So take advantage of it.
Right, but you have people that are very cautious while driving.
And they drive in the left lane going like the speed limit or slower. That bothers me too. Because that's a passing lane. So if you're not going to be passing people, you're not supposed to use that lane at all, like ever. But as long as you're going fast.
I don't think people know that.
They don't. And you can get a ticket for it, but I guess
the person behind you is probably cursing and doing all that. And just, if you're going to drive that slow, just get out of the way. Just be in the right-hand lane and...
Move it or lose it, lady or guy, whatever.
Right. And the thing, too, like, there are senior citizens that still drive. So, of course, being a senior citizen, they're a little more careful and cautious. Like, don't get mad at them. They're old. They're older. And
I always kind of look through the window at who it is before I decide how angry I'm going to get. And if it's like somebody really old, I kind of just shrug it off.
Like, okay, driving with my mom, I cannot drive with my mom. Like, everybody who drives with somebody and you're not the one driving the car and you're in the passenger side, you tend to be a little more nervous, and you're like, you think that you have the pedal on your side.
Especially when they drive very differently than the way you drive.
Right?
I agree. I know what you mean.
I cannot drive with my mother because she doesn't really check her blind spots, which really freaks me out. So I'm always, turning.
Checking for her?
Yeah, she just thinks that looking in the side mirrors is enough. But I'm like, Ma, you got to really turn your head. You got to make sure there's no car like right in your side there that you can't see.
You got to signal first and then look. Or is it look, signal, look? I can't remember. I remember there's a thing from driving school, I think.
You can tell by my face.
Oh.
I don't remember.
Oh, young drivers didn't teach you that rule. Oh, what do they say? Look at the little mirror. That's good enough.
No, they taught it's
But yes,
look,
you have to
signal. Look, yes.
I think that's what it was, but at the very least, at least look before you move. Yeah.
Well, I don't know what the rules are anymore. Did they change the driving book? Like, do we have to study it again, or?
I don't know.
It's probably changed from when we got our license.
Hey, wouldn't that be a good idea if somebody was pulled over being a really bad driver, if they just make them do the test again? Or something?
Oh,
I think some people could use a refresher. That's all I'm saying.
Well, if you haven't had your license in years, then you do have to go back and start all over. See, when I had my 365, which is a learner's permit. Remember that piece of paper you had and it had the sticker on it? And you had
I remember that.
Okay, so I had that. And I booked my test, and I was relying on my brother to take me for my test, but he didn't, and my permit expired, and then that's when the whole G1, G2, G thing started, so I had to...
Same for me. I got my 365, but then I ended up having to get my G2. I skipped the G1, but I had to get my G2, because it changed over while I was doing all of that.
Oh, see, so...
So you had to do your G1.
Yeah, I had to start from G1, yeah. Oh my God, that was such a long time ago. But
A few years.
yeah, that's just sometimes I get scared driving, really, because people are just not paying attention now. And when you're driving, like obviously you know that a car is not a toy, and you have to be really, really careful while driving. Also, look for pedestrians. Like, I mean, just don't speed up at the intersection.
Mm-hmm.
You have to creep slowly at the intersection because people could be crossing the street. I almost got hit by cars lots of times.
Yeah, me too.
Lots of times because, I'll be coming like to their right side, but they only look to their left, not looking like, hi, I'm walking. And then they start to turn and they almost hit me with their car.
And that's also
and
why
I have a few words for them.
And that's why when you're a pedestrian and if you see a car, you try to make like eye contact with them so they actually look at you. Like, if they're here and you're trying to walk in front of them, I always kind of look through the window to see if they can actually see me, because sometimes they're just like doing other stuff, right?
Right, they don't want to look at you. But I have my glasses on, and I think you can tell with my glasses on, the look on my face, telling you that I'm going to kick your ass in a minute.
Okay, I'm really scared right now.
But just be careful for pedestrians, and I wouldn't say it's always the driver's fault, because I do see a lot of pedestrians that do really bad things, like cross the street on a red light. Like, you
100%.
guys can't wait till the light turns green.
And look how they're walking now. They're doing this.
Oh my God, yes, they're on their phone. I just saw a guy trip the other day at the bus stop because he was just looking at his phone, and the sidewalk was kind of like broken, and he fell.
It's kind of funny.
I said, that's what you get for looking at your phone.
That was his fault.
People walk into poles, but pedestrians always like cross the street on a red light. I've even seen parents with their kids do that. Like, you're teaching your kid to cross the street on a red light. No, that's just
I would
right.
say if you're crossing on the red and there's literally no cars that you can see.
Nope, I still wait for the green light. I'm an angel that way. I'm just saying, I will not cross on a red light.
Never?
No.
I mean, not in a big intersection, but even like on a smaller light, you've never just. Okay, well.
Nope.
I haven't done it that much, but I've done it a few times.
I cannot. I have to wait for the green light because
That's the safest way to be.
No,
because you don't know where they'll come from.
And usually I'm with Onyx, my dog, so he's always whining, and I'm like, Onyx, the light has to change to green.
Well, and you're holding him, and if something comes, and then you have to run, and then he doesn't run, and then you're pulling, like, you know what I mean? You need to wait with him, for sure.
Yes, he waits patiently, but so drivers, be aware of like pedestrians that are crossing the street, and it makes me so mad. Like, back in the day, growing up, like, we didn't have phones. Okay, well, cars had phones in the car, like the old.
Yeah, but not many.
Version.
But not many people have them. You had to be like Mr. Moneybags to have those.
Okay.
My dad never had the car phone thing.
Yeah, well, we didn't either.
No, they're really expensive. But yeah, some people had them. Isn't it funny that the cell phone was created for the car originally, and then now people use their phones in the car, and it's like distracting?
Yes, like,
there's no screens back then. It was just phone numbers, but
I know technology is great, and they're coming out with all these new things. It's great for like science and like these machines at hospitals, but these phones are really going to be the death of us. Like, now cars are coming with like screens in there, so you can watch like TV. The kids can watch TV in the back. Like, we didn't have that growing up, man. We just had the windows open, and we would just like.
Yeah, you make up some songs, or you do like "I Spy with My Little Eye," something that is orange.
Right. So just all these phones, and now like with the Tesla, okay, nice car. But like, everything has a screen. Like, all these cars have a screen there, and you're not supposed to be touching your phone or because it's distracting.
Yeah.
But yet there's this screen that you have, like
I know.
and you touch the screen to like, Google Maps or whatever, or call somebody. You're still touching the screen, so it's really the people who make the cars that it's their fault.
Yeah.
That's what I say. Like, all this.
Our next show will be with Elon Musk. We'll be talking to him about his cars.
somebody has a license plate by my work that actually says Elon Musk. Like, why would you spend $310 on a license plate?
That's a very specific license plate to have if you're not the person.
Right?
Yeah.
And it wasn't even a Tesla. Wasn't even a Tesla. But he had the license plate that said Elon Musk. I'm like, okay. Somebody's got money to burn.
Yeah.
Where was it?
Maybe he wants to meet him one day so he can be like, hey, check out my license plates.
So he got pulled over by a cop once, and she thought he was holding his cell phone, but he wasn't. So she couldn't give him a ticket, really. So she really wanted to, but
she was so mad that she didn't catch me.
Right.
And then she told me that my phone could be on my dashboard, but it couldn't be where I had it. It had to be by the passenger side. And then when I asked her what law that was, she said it's not up to her. I should know the laws.
So she didn't know the law.
Oh, she was so angry. I ruined her whole week. I'm sure I did.
She just wanted to give you a ticket, but she had no...
But that was a fair thing. But she thought I did, so that was totally fair for her to pull over. That's fine. Because I'm sure she gets people that way. But in my case, sucker. I was obeying the rules of the road. I was just drinking my coffee.
It wasn't... Apparently, you can't even drink coffee, because that's distraction... Considered a distraction too.
Wasn't that this year they did that?
I don't know. So does this mean we can't smoke in the car? Like, is that a distraction?
That's a good question.
Like, don't tell me I can't smoke in the car. Okay, you're not supposed to smoke when children are there, or...
Unless they're also smoking.
No. Well, we had those Popeye cigarettes.
Oh, yeah. Or remember the gum? Remember the gum ones? It was a stick of gum, but it had the paper on the outside. And if you blew into it, this powdered sugar came out and it looked like a little puff of smoke.
I think I remember those.
Oh, my God.
I remember the Popeye ones.
Popeyes, yeah. They call them Popeyes candy sticks now. And they don't paint the end red anymore. It just looks like it's like a marshmallow stick. They're kind of gross.
You can still use it as a cigarette.
True. Sure.
So, the cars that they're making now, so easy for drivers to like get distracted with their big TV screens, and I still see people holding their phones all the time. I
see people all the time, and especially at red lights. And everyone tries to do it like a ninja, where you don't see the phone, but you see them looking down. And I don't think you're looking at your jeans because you're at the red light.
And that's when I would honk at someone, because if you're taking like more than 5 seconds to turn, buddy, I will honk.
Yep.
But pay attention. I see people like that all the time. I just saw a guy a couple of weeks ago when I was on the bus, and he had his kid in the back seat, but he was like this, and he just kept looking up to see if the light would change. Like, dude, you're on your phone, man. Like, your kid's in the back seat. Why are you risking your life?
And I know it's really tempting. It's just you just gotta make sure you don't do it. I've been at red lights, and I've tried to check things really quickly. I've done it a couple of times.
And when you drive, you're supposed to be a car length away from the car in front of you. You're supposed to.
You have to be able to see their back tires.
Ian tells me that all the time.
That's what I remember from Howard himself taught me.
Oh.
Well, no, I don't think so.
Howard the Duck?
The Duck. I don't remember the guy's name. It wasn't Howard. It was George or something. But yeah, as long as you can see their back tires from where you're sitting, then you have enough space.
Right.
In case you get hit, so you don't hit them.
Right. Mm-hmm. So you're supposed to keep space between you and the car in front of you, but nobody does that except for me.
That's good.
Like, I always leave space, but then you have the people who are like right up your butt.
Yep.
Or, I won't mention any names, but not you, but I won't mention any names, but like right there. Just so close to the car. Like, so close to the car in front of you, you can actually be in their trunk.
Mm-hmm.
So.
That was my dad. My dad was the worst tailgater. And he says it was because of downtown traffic and that's how he had to drive. But he would go right behind everybody all the time. And if they moved like an inch, he'd be moving an inch. Like, oh my God.
No,
he wasn't a fast driver. He was just a close driver.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
No, because you can slam on your brakes and then they hit you from behind, so it's dangerous. So
Yep.
yeah, people rushing, going through red lights, paying attention to their phones.
Driving too cautiously and slow, driving too fast, not paying attention, being in a rush.
Not signaling. Like, what is it with people, especially with BMWs, that don't signal?
We don't talk about that here.
No?
No.
Because you drive a BMW?
And I always use my signals.
Well, yeah, somebody reminds you.
Sometimes. But no, but it's true. A lot of people don't use their signals.
Using your signal tells the person behind you what you are doing, like making a right-hand turn, making a left-hand turn, changing lanes. But some of you do not use your signals. I don't know if it came with the car or not. I think you have to pay extra for that.
Probably. I paid extra.
Yeah. So use your signal because, you're telling the person behind you what you're doing.
And pedestrians and all of that. Yeah. They're there for a reason.
Yes. It's
Using
in
people.
the car for a reason. So those of you who just speed and cut people off left, right, and center, just you guys shouldn't be driving at all. Like,
nope.
People, I don't know where people get their licenses. Like, I do not know. Like, okay, so quick story, that I was working that last Saturday, and this guy had like an AM license, so trucks. He drives trucks, and he came to renew his license, and I couldn't renew his license because he had to do a test, and really didn't understand what I was saying. So how did you get a truck license? I'm not sure. So I kept saying, you have to do a test. He even brought the paper that says he has to do a written test.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, what test do I have to do? For my M license? For my motorcycle license? Like, why are you driving? Like, you should know that you drive a truck and you have to go for a test every 5 years or
Plus,
or
it
whatever.
sounds like he only knows how to drive a motorcycle, and a truck is a lot bigger, so he should definitely do that test.
Like, why? I don't know why some of you have a license. I really don't. Like,
if those people could be taken off the roads, then we wouldn't have a traffic problem.
I think so. You know? Now you get like the teenagers that think they're so cool driving because they have a license now, and
I think they should be allowed to drive, but they should try to be careful. We were all teenagers once. I remember when I first started driving. I loved it, but yeah, be careful. But I don't even think the teenagers are the biggest problem. I think it's like everyone else.
It's everybody's problem. Like, everybody is just so in a rush, and there's just too much traffic everywhere, and everybody has a car except for me, and my nephew's probably going to have a car before me.
I'm sure you won't, and that's not true. Plenty of people don't have cars. And right now, with the way the gas is, I don't think anybody wants to drive anymore. But they're still on the roads for some reason, so that's okay. Hey.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like, most of you should not be driving. I don't know where you get your licenses. I don't know if these driving instructors just hand out licenses and say, here, just drive. And
no, I think people start out at the very beginning knowing the rules, and as soon as they get out by themselves,
they pick up bad habits.
They just do whatever makes them happy.
Yeah, they drive like this, like.
Do you drive like this all the time? And do you do this? Do you turn like?
Oh my God, Sons of Anarchy. If you ever watch Sons of Anarchy, Nero, the way he drives his car, it's like the steering wheel just moves all like that.
Remember
anyway.
TV shows back in the day? They show, and when it's like they're doing this. I don't know. I'm sure you do one of these sometimes.
I do, but I like to have both hands on the wheel. I'm so scared to drive now. Like, if I were to drive somebody's car, I'd just be terrified. I'd just be terrified.
And it's not because of the way you drive, it's because of everyone else. I totally agree.
Like, nobody pays attention. Like, I just feel like everybody I see is just on their phone, and it's so dangerous. Like,
and that's and that's why I'm worried about drivers now.
And then I get the people that come to the Service Ontario, and they're like, well, why did I get this ticket? And it's like $350, and all because you ran a red light.
Just say because you were a total asshole, you got the ticket, and you're still an asshole and you need to pay it.
Oh, my kids take the car. Yeah, sure. Blame the kids.
Mhm.
Next time it's the dog that takes the car.
Oh, they would say that it was the kids that got the ticket?
Some of them,
Yeah, sure.
yeah.
And how's your kid? 3. Nice try, buddy. Come back when he's 5. I won't leave you.
So, drivers, just be more cautious. There's no need to rush. Like, life can change in like a split second, and you hear all these accidents.
It's so true.
I just read something on the news that an 18-year-old just got charged for killing somebody back in April. He's 18. There he goes. Probably lost his license now. Because he T-boned a car. So, you just gotta be careful. You only have one life, so why?
If you're gonna be
rush?
if you're gonna be a driver, just drive. Like, listen, pay attention, and just take your time and enjoy it. Like, driving is fun. Just don't be stupid.
And if you're stuck in traffic, oh well, that's what life is now. It's just traffic and construction. There's construction everywhere. Like, goddamn. Like,
So many of the roads are like closed off right now. It's ridiculous.
well, they always say there's 2 seasons, winter and construction.
I know.
So, anyways.
And I don't like the winter, and now you're taking away my summer. At least your favorite season exists. Oh, I got more snow. Oh, it's -14. It's awesome.
Yeah, I can't wait for snow. It's almost here.
Just finished.
Wait,
Almost.
excuse me, we're in June already. Like, come on, Christmas is just right around the corner.
Oh my
now.
God.
So is
We're as
snow.
close to the next one as we were from the last one. How about that?
I hate summer.
Merry Christmas.
But drivers, if you think that you are the best driver out there, you are not.
Nope.
Okay? You are not the best driver. You suck, and don't speed. What's that guy you told me about the other day that was going like 100 and something in a 40 or something?
Oh, when I was walking Henry,
Yes.
he was doing like 70 in a 30. And he was running every stop sign. Like, he was like the Mario Andretti of the side streets in this shitty car.
Why doesn't he get caught?
I
Why
hope
do
he got
people
caught.
like that get
I was
caught?
so mad at him because that's just so dangerous.
Yes, and you wanted to find him.
Yeah, so I could.
What would you do? What would you do?
I don't know.
You didn't want me to get out of the car to beat the people up that threw fruit in the car, and you're gonna chase this
No,
guy?
but getting out of the car in front of the school just makes you more of a target, right? They're gonna throw more stuff at you. This guy, I don't know. I would have like thrown this guy out of his car or something.
That's when I say they don't know me very well, do they?
No,
Bugs Bunny reference.
no, that bugs.
So that's part 2 of our drivers segment, I'm sure. Part 3 should be coming up.
In about half an hour.
No, probably next week, and we'll talk about so many other things that drivers should not be doing, and just pay attention. Don't be in a rush, man.
Are we doing a part 3 of drivers?
Oh my God, we're gonna have like an 80-part series on this.
I think we do some. I think we do something and then come back to drivers. We got so much stuff to talk about.
I know. I have to make a list. We have lots of things to rant about, but drivers, like, pay attention.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Stupid drivers. Stupid drivers. You shouldn't be on the road.
Nope.
Anyways, well, guess this is it. Pokeroo's back, and
Down to the side of the road, you know.
Pokeroo.
Hey,
I miss
what
Polka
did you
Dot
say?
Door. Don't you miss Polka Dot Door?
I miss Polka Dot Door.
I miss Polka Dot Door. Good old times. Oh, yeah, we'll talk about that when we do a rant about shows and stuff.
Oh yeah, that's a good topic.
Oh, don't even get me started on that.
Yeah.
So, drivers, be cautious. Be good.
Drive and
And-
pay attention.
People that don't know how to drive shouldn't be on the road.
Yeah.
And
Get the hell off.
then, well,
Save it for the rest of us.
yeah. And, well, that's it. So, have a good weekend.
Enjoy. See you soon.
See you soon. From Pokeroo.